Hello, my name's Sam and welcome to my channel So Let's Sparkle with Sam. So today is my little bit of sparkle video and I'm filming this on Saturday afternoon and hopefully you'll see it on Sunday. So, what a difference a week makes. So, well, a day makes really. It was still quite hot yesterday, but today it's gone a little bit cooler. So I know you'll all ask what I'm wearing. I've actually got a little cardigan on. I've got a Tilly and the Buttons Bertha cardigan, which has got this lovely kind of bat wing effect and comes across the front in this gorgeous mermaid sparkly fabric that I got from Beyond the Pink Door. And I'm wearing it with a very oldie but a goodie favourite t-shirt. So, you know when you just need a white t-shirt but you don't want to just wear a white t-shirt? Well, this is the Liesl & Co. Chai Tea t-shirt, and you can see it's got these gorgeous little pleated effects here. And it just kind of takes it to a little bit more of an elevated tee. But it's still a white t-shirt that goes with everything, which is pretty cool. And then I'm wearing it with my navy pinstriped La trousers. And this was when I had to go at the La trousers without putting the pleat in. So they're not barrel leg, they're more of like a wide leg trouser. And I'll try and get a full length picture so you can see the full ensemble, as it were. So yeah, it's been a really busy week in the Sparkly Studio. I was going to give you a little bit of an update on my 14 days to sparkle, because this was going to be the end of my 14 days to sparkle, but I had a little blip in the middle. So I got to about day 10 and then I had a little blip. Life got really lively, and although I was only giving you a little short every day, I was still having to remember to film and do things every day, and things kind of occurred in my life that meant it just got impossible. And I thought, no, let's not do this, let's not do half a job. Let's just say life happens. So I'm going to have a little pause and then I will do the rest of the days and then I'll do a recap hopefully next week, if not the week after. And I hope that's okay because, I'm still sparkling. I'm just not necessarily filming it all for you. But yeah, I'm keeping up with my hydration. I'm keeping up with making good choices, and I'm trying to move at least once every day. And I don't just mean that, I mean actually get outside and move, be that a little walk or a little exercise routine, or I did a little bit of jogging, although I didn't manage to film that because, well, it just, it's a bit difficult to do. But yeah, so I'm still going, but that is the reason why that has halted, and I hope that's okay. So let's go back in time to last week. So I left you, my lovely friend Debs from Debs Made This was coming over to visit, and she did. We had a lovely Much Ado About Stitching session, and yeah, and it was really lovely. And I did manage to get a few things finished at Much Ado About Stitching. One thing, now this was heavily influenced by Debs, was Debs said to me, what are you taking? And I said, I'm going to take my Rivy shirt because I took it to the very first one and I've taken it to everyone since and I never get it finished. And so she was like, you've got to get this finished. So I took it. It didn't get finished because, I think finishing things at sewing socials that you are running is just impossible because something always takes priority. Anywho, Debs had made me get everything else that I needed. So I knew what buttons I wanted. I had everything ready to go. So when I got back, I thought, right, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to get it done. So as soon as Debs had gone home, I decided to get it out of my project bag and get it finished. So I've got some pictures of me wearing it and I've got it here. It's made in this gorgeous fabric that I bought from the lovely Lisbeth at Tuesday Child Fabrics. And it's got these gorgeous, I believe they're little rosy cheeks, but I bought them as part of, I think I got them in part of a box from Beyond the Pink Door, and it says, sewing is in my jeans. See what I did there? In my jeans. And yeah, and it's this gorgeous blueprint rocket rover fabric in the most delicious blue that you've ever seen in your life. And then obviously it isn't me unless it's got a star on it, so I did the star buttons. Now, one thing that I hadn't realised is I took my instructions with me to Much Ado, but when I came back I was kind of almost done. I thought I'd read through the instructions carefully, so I thought, oh, I know what to do now, and just finished it, and I did. And then when I put it on, I thought, oh, the sleeves are really long, like really long. So I ended up doing just folding it up. And then the lovely Diane from Diane Stitches put a little comment on my Instagram and said, Sam, I don't think you've read the instructions properly. She was very kind. She was very kind about it. And that there's another turn up. Now, I've only made the long sleeve Rivy last time, not the short sleeve. And I've gone back and had a look, and she's absolutely right. So what I need to do, I do need to do a little finish on the sleeve. But to be honest, how I've been wearing it is, it's great with this white t-shirt and then over the top just as a little jacket, and having it open, and then the longer sleeves is just fine. So I will change the sleeves, but I'm quite enjoying it the way it is at the moment. And it is an absolutely lovely shirt. The Rivy shirt works well. I think it would actually work well as a jacket, if that was your kind of vibe. But I really love it, and I'm really glad I finished it. So it's the Chalk and Notch Rivy shirt. I made it in the size 10 with a D cup, which is my go-to for chalk and notch. And yeah, it was absolutely fine. In fact, I probably could have sized down this time, which I thought was a bit odd because I'm pretty much standard with chalk and notch. So maybe it's the Rivy has just got a little bit more ease than some of the other patterns. But again, saying that, with the long sleeve one, it fit me absolutely fine. So I don't know. Pretty sure I cut out the same pattern. It was the same pattern pieces, so I'm pretty sure I cut out the same size. But hey ho, sewing sometimes brings up these little miscellaneous blips. But yeah, that was really good. And yeah, and while Debs is on my mind, so my lovely friend Debs has set us all a new little challenge. There's no prizes, it's just for funsies, and it's called Liberate Your Liberty. Now, I'm not going to go into very much detail. I'm just going to send you straight to Debs Made This. I'm going to pop her down below. If you have Liberty fabric in your stash, you're going to want to hear about what Debs is offering, a chance to liberate your liberty and get it sewn up, because that's what we want to do. Get that Liberty fabric out of your collection and onto your body, or maybe not even onto your body. I've got some plans, and they involve a water bottle and some Liberty fabric, but I'm saving that for next week. So yeah, so that's go and watch Debs. That would be very lovely. So another thing that had been happening in my sewing room is that I've been having a little bit of a tidy up, because the new term starts in September. So I'll have people back into the studio, workshops are starting back up again. Everything's kind of go again once Mr. Sparkles goes back to work. So I've been trying to kind of have a little bit of a sort out. And one of the first things that I do is I go around and kind of collect all of my fabric scraps and kind of find out what I can use, what needs to go into the rag recycling. And in the bottom of my kind of scrap bin, I had all of my sardine pyjamas scraps. Now, they were little tiny bits of scraps, but there was quite a big bulk of it, because obviously, I'd made 6 garments. But they were all tiny little bits, and it made me sad. I was like, I do not want to just chuck this away, because I love the fabric so much. It was jersey fabric. I find jersey scraps a little bit harder sometimes than woven scraps. Obviously, if you've got different bits of cotton, you can do crumb quilting and all that kind of thing. With jersey, I wasn't quite sure what I could do. So I took the bits out that were going to do headbands, and I managed to get 2 headbands. They were a bit narrower than my normal ones, but they're great for when I'm putting my makeup on. And then I realised that a lot of them were kind of odd shaped, but they were about the size of my coaster. So what I did was I drew around my coaster on as many as I could, cut them out, and then popped them this size here, and then popped a piece of my lovely bamboo terry toweling. And now I've got a job to do this weekend, which is literally just whiz around, and I'm going to make some little face wipes with this gorgeous sardines, because, you know, it's always handy. And I'm going away at the beginning of September, so I always like to take some face wipes away with me. So yeah, I mean, all I needed to do was tidy up my studio, and I gave myself an extra job to do. So probably not very time efficient, but hey ho, that's what happens in the sparkly studio. You know, this is where all the fun is at. The other thing that came in to the studio because of Much Ado About Stitching was one of our lovely guests that come is called Lisbeth, and she is Tuesday Child Fabrics. And I was chatting to her bag knowledge is extensive, and I was chatting to her about my 14 days of sparkle, and that the fact that I'm getting on really well with my hydration and remembering to drink my water, but I'm not very good at taking my water bottle out with me when I go on my movements, because I don't really have a bag to put it in, and I don't like carrying it in my hand. So she said, what you need, Sam, is the H2O to go sling. This is the pattern that I needed. And so I was like, do I? She was like, yes, you do. You absolutely do. So I'll pop down below. Lisbeth sells this on her shop, sells this pattern, and I bought it. And then I spent my social sparkle session cutting out all of the pieces, and I've decided that I'm going to make myself one of these. It's a really, really clever design. It's got like a little pocket, but it's an open pocket for your water bottle, and then there's a closed zip bit for any other bits. So if you want to take your water bottle, you can easily access it. And then if you've got a closed bit for putting your keys and other bits in. So yeah, so that is definitely on my list of things to make. And because I was there and because I was shopping, I bought another little bag pattern because I'd not seen this one before. And it's called the Emerson Crossbody Quilted Bag. And I just thought, oh, I can see a Baby Sparkles wanting one of those for a festival bag. So, and I'm starting to think, apologies for the C word, but I'm starting to think about Christmas presents. So I think that, yeah, I think that would make a very good Christmas present, not just for Baby Sparkles, for a few people I'm thinking of. And then, yeah, so I made that order, that little order came. And then there was this little stripy bag in my order, and I was like, oh, I didn't order anything else. I only ordered 2 patterns. I've got 2 patterns. So what's in this little stripy bag? And then I opened the little stripy bag, and in it was a little purple surprise. I was like, oh, how exciting. And it says, if you found a little extra tucked into your order, it's there for one very special reason, because surprises are fun, which they absolutely are. There's no special occasion, no minimum spend, and no catch. I simply wanted to brighten your day with a little something from me to you. Thank you for choosing to support a small business. Every order means the world, and I hope this tiny surprise brings a smile to your face and finds a happy home in one of your future projects. Happy sewing, Lisbeth. How lovely is that? I mean, we all love supporting little businesses, but you know, that's just a lovely. And what was in my little bag was a little patch, and everyone knows how much I like a patch, and it says sewing is my superpower. So I think, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, and I have got plans for what fabric and things that I'm going to use for that, but that's going to be a different video, so I will save that. So I brought my friend here a little closer for this next bit. So yes, as you know, I am going to Scottish Frocktails. Or maybe you don't know, maybe you're new. If you're new here, hi, you are welcome. So I am going to Scottish Frocktails this year, and Scottish Frocktails is in Glasgow. So I will be getting on an aeroplane and going to Glasgow from Friday till Sunday. And on Saturday night, be going to Scottish Frocktails. And I've decided to make the Upton dress. So the Upton dress is by Cashmere. I've made a few of them now. I was going to try and smash together a couple of other patterns. And then when I sent my ideas to a couple of my pals, they went, Sam, that's the Upton dress. I was like, yeah, you're right. So what I've done is, to save myself a lot of trouble, I've just adapted the Upton dress ever so slightly. So the fabric that I'm using is this gorgeous fabric that you will have seen before if you've been here before, of my Spaceman print that I picked up at the Stitch Festival. And as soon as I saw it at the Stitch Festival, I squealed and knew that this was going to be a Frocktails dress. I didn't know which one, but it was definitely going to be a Frocktails dress. And as you can see, I've cut the front panel. I've marked all of the darts in to make sure that I get an astronaut just casually floating across to my bosom, because why not? And then if I turn my friend round, I've got the back panel. Now the back panel I've cut on the fold, but I am going to cut it down the middle. But the reason that I've cut it on the fold is that what you do for the Upton dress is that you have an invisible zip down the back. Now, I don't want an invisible zip. I want an exposed zip. Now, the reason I want an exposed zip is because I like seeing zips. I mean, invisible zips are great. And it's not it's not because I don't want to put an invisible zip in. If I ever had problems putting an invisible zip in, I would just go to my good friend Catherine from Soverton Makery and watch her absolutely fabulous invisible zip insertion video, and I would have no problems at all because it's brilliant. But I love a zip. And look, when you can get great zips like this, why would you not want to put it? Why would you not want to have that on show? Because I think it's just really cool. So I want to put a visible zip, and a very much visible zip, in the back. So I wasn't quite sure how much I needed. So I thought, well, if I cut it in the fold, and then I can fiddle about with it and make sure what I need. And also I want this astronaut, this little guy here, I want him exactly where he is. And then I can have the flower. I can cut that where I need it. So yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. I have cut out all my skirt pieces. I've marked all of the darts, but I just need to crack on with that. I've got a little while. The Upton dress doesn't take me too long, but I did promise you a little bit of an update. So that is where I am at so far. So today is Saturday. This morning I decided to jump on a lovely little social, well, a kind of sew along with lovely Sarah from my Handmade wardrobe as part of the Weekend Sewing Club. So I actually run a social for Sarah once a month, and mine is today. If you're watching Sunday, it is today, 10 till 12. And it just so happened that this month we happen to have on the same weekend. So I thought, well, I'll jump on it with Sarah's and kind of say hi to everyone. And then I've got mine today. But I thought, well, while I'm there, I might as well make this month's make. So this month's make is called the Sunday Shorts and Trousers. And I have made a little pair of shorts. Now, you will see a little label on because that says back, because that's the back. And then this is the front. And as you can see, I've been cutting out my bamboo terry for my sardine face wipes. So it's got little bits of, but you get the general idea. And then it's just this really cute pair of double gauze shorts. I haven't hemmed them yet. I'm going to finish them off in my session tomorrow, but they've all got this gorgeous rainbow overlocked inside, which is just so cool. Really simple pair of shorts. I think I'm probably going to just end up wearing them, for about the house, in the garden, that kind of thing. But I just wanted to have a go at them in double gauze. I love wearing double gauze, and I just wanted to see how they would work out. And I'm really happy with them. I've made a couple of pairs of them for baby sparkles as well. And yeah, so it's just a lovely, lovely little pattern. So I'm going to be doing that again tomorrow. Now you're thinking, now Sam, but where did that gorgeous teal double gauze come from? Well, I did a little cheeky order this week. I did a First for Fabrics order because when they are out of stock of something, so if you have your eyes on something and you're just unlucky enough because you weren't there quick enough and they run out of stock, if they're going to order it in again, which often they do, they have an option where you can say email when it's back in stock. And I did that on some fabric. I'd kind of forgotten about it, if I'm honest, but I did that because I did really want the fabric, and they'd run out of stock. But I said, I'll order some more. Now, in the meantime, I'd gone to Beyond the Pink Door because they had that fabric, and I'd ordered and I managed to get 1.5 meters, but that's all I managed to get. So when I got the call back, or the email back from First for Fabrics, I was delighted that they had loads of the fabric left. So, can you remember which one it was? Here's this one. And it's still got the First for Fabrics ribbon on it. Yeah, so I just love this. And I was happy with my 1.5 meters, and I will probably still make the shirt that I want to make with, but I just love this so much. I just absolutely love it. It's joyous. So I got 4 meters. So this will be enough to make my long sleeve Lyra, which I've been wanting to make for such a long time. Yeah, and look at it. It's so gorgeous. So yeah, there you have it. So that was great. And then because I was already making an order, I thought I made an order for the double gauze. Now I've got a little bit more double gauze than I thought I was going to have, because shortly after I'd made the order, I got a phone call and they said, oh Sam, thank you so much for your lovely order. We haven't got the amount of double gauze you want in one go. We've only got it in little bits. And they actually had little bits that was more than what I needed. And they very kindly sent it me all. So that was really, really kind. So what I think I might do is once I've finished my shorts and hemmed them up, I might have a look to see which piece will make a nice little top maybe to go with it. So I've got like a little cord set. But the other thing that I love to do with double gauze is this is the perfect, in my opinion, the perfect material to make non-disposable, reusable kitchen paper. So you know, in your kitchen when you used to use a piece of that white kitchen paper and then throw it away. We now have reusable wipes in our kitchen, and I make them with this. So I just normally do a 12 by 12 square and then just overlock it in the funnest overlocking thread that I can find, and then pop those. I've got a little holder in the kitchen, they go in there. So I'm thinking some lovely teal green ones would be a great addition. My kitchen is green. So yeah, so that will be that. So thank you, First for Fabrics, because you've now made my day, because I've now got some extra fabric to make some reusable kitchen towels with. And then the other one that I bought was, now I wasn't quite sure when this came, because I thought, oh, I think this might be a different fabric to the one that I ordered, because it was different to one that I've ordered before. And then I went back on and thought, no, it is. So this is a gorgeous linen. It's quite lightweight. It looks very, very see-through, but it's actually not as see-through as it looks. When you put it up against your body, it's, you know, it's not see-through at all. But it's nice and lightweight. I've got 2 meters of it. The colour is absolutely gorgeous. And I have got, there's a couple of ideas that I've got for this, and I'm going to just leave it there for now, because one of the ideas I've got is for a challenge that's coming up soon. So if I do decide to use it for that, then I will tell you all about it. So yeah, but this gorgeous blue is very me, and I thought 2 meters, it was a really good price of gorgeous cotton linen in the lovely blue. It needs to come home with me as part of my collection. So as you can probably tell, I have had quite a busy week. It hasn't all been sewing. I have done lots of sewing. I've done lots of Zoom calls. I've had lots of socials. I've had quite a few flurries of orders this week, which has been very nice. Thank you very much. But I've also had a bit of family time. So me and my mum and my sister and my daughter all went to Oxford yesterday. So yeah, we went for Oxford the day. I have been to Oxford shopping for absolute ages. We didn't have a great deal of time for shopping, but we did have a little pop along the shops. Didn't really buy anything much. Bought a pair of very simple trousers for baby Sparkles because they were the style that he likes. I saw them, they were a good price, so I bought those. But other than that, didn't really buy very much. But we did go for a lovely afternoon tea. And yeah, and it was really lovely. I'll pop some pics up so you can see. We had some delicious cakes, we had some delicious sandwiches. Yeah, and it was really, really lovely, and it was a lovely day. But it has reminded me that I think I need to go back to Oxford, because it's not that long, it's not that far for me on the train. Go and have a little day out in Oxford and have a little peruse while I've got some time of all of the lovely charity shops. So yeah, so that was a great day. And then next week we've got quite a busy week next week as a family, and I have got lots and lots of kind of family commitments. So I don't know how much sewing I will actually get done next week, but yeah, whatever I get done, I will let you know. So thank you so much for joining me for this week's little bit of sparkle. I hope you find some time to sparkle and perhaps do some sewing this week. Take care, look after yourselves. Don't forget to sparkle. Bye for now.